Hi, hello, how are you? Happy October. I'm so excited because it is a new month, so that means it's time for a new TBR. This month I'm going to be using this wheel spinner to choose my TBR for me. This is a list of prompts I have selectively chosen for my specific TBR. If you have not met her, this is my TBR cart. There are about 29 different books on here, including some books that I'm super excited for and some books that I have been putting off. So I'm gonna read through the prompts to you guys and then we'll do our first spin. On our list, I have highest rated, lowest rated, been on the TBR the longest, newest release, shortest book, longest book, continuing series, a 5-star prediction based on the cover, a reread, which I really hope that we get this month, random number generator, new author, randomized, highly anticipated, and one I've been putting off. So I'm going to go ahead and spin the wheel and we're going to get our very first prompt. Ooh, been on the TBR the longest. If We Were Villains has definitely been on here a very, very long time. How to Write a Love Story has been on here since like February. Clockwork Princess has been on here for even longer than both of those. These are all newer books. I honestly think that the book that's been sitting on here the longest is If We Were Villains by M.L. Rio. The only thing I know about this book is that there is a Shakespearean aspect to it, and I do not know much about that, but I do think that this is our book that's been on here for the longest, so I'm going to try to read it this month. We'll put it on our TBR and hopefully we get to it. I think we're gonna pick 5 books this month because I do go back to school in 2 weeks and I'm going to need some easier, lighter reads, if that makes sense. Oh, newest release. I feel like Dolly All the Time just came out not too long ago. This came out in February, this has been out, this has been out. These have been out forever. I think her newest release is going to be Dolly All the Time by Annabelle Monaghan. This one I've been wanting to pick up so bad. It was one of the contenders for my friend Emily's book club, and I am so excited. I don't think that's the book that they ended up picking. I think they're reading Into the Blue, which hopefully I'll get into that one too, but Dolly All the Time by Annabelle Monaghan is our second book choice. We have 3 more to go. Five-star prediction. 5-star prediction. Okay. There are so many books on my TBR right now that I think will be 5 stars. I am not hard to please. I love depth. I love a little bit of chaos. I love romance. But I also love fantasy and I love world building. So I am not super specific or hard to please, but I am. This makes me a little nervous. The Night and the Moth is a strong contender. I loved One Dark Window and Two Twisted Crowns, which were both 6-star reads for me by Rachel Gillig, and I feel like she can't let me down with this one. But the problem is we also have The Dragon Republic by R.F. Wong, and Binding 13, and Clockwork Princess, and Hopeless, which I have been waiting forever for. I also have a few other books on the back that you guys can't see. They are just like more fast-paced thrillers. And back there I also have Us Against You by Frederick Bachman. So between these 3 and Binding 13, it is a very, very difficult decision. But I'm a fantasy girly through and through, and so far we do not have a fantasy book on my August TBR, which is insane because it's like the start of fall, spooky season fantasy time. So I don't think we're going to be picking Us Against You. I don't think we're going to pick Binding 13 right now, which leaves us between The Dragon Republic and The Night and the Moth. I think I'm leaning towards The Night and the Moth just because book 2 does come out in September and I want to be in it. I want to be there to read it. I want to be there for the hype. So I think this is going to be our 3rd book. I feel like I'm a serial series starter and I never just finish them. Like I never start them and finish them in one run. This is going to be very beneficial for my cart. These are all the books I own that are part of series that I just simply have not continued or finished yet. We have Before Your Memory Fades, Us Against You, Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows, The Dragon Republic, Clockwork Princess, Hopeless by Elsie Silver, finally, and Now Back to You. Between all of these books so far, I literally want to read every single book on my physical TBR. It is very hard for me to be making these decisions and picking out which books I'm going to read next month, especially knowing that I'm going to have limited time and not be able to read as much when school starts. But I do feel that fall nostalgic feeling, and I think that we are going to be continuing Clockwork Princess, which is the third book in the Infernal Devices series. I've been putting this one off for way too long just because I feel like it is known to be so sad and I'm just not ready for it, but I better be because it's going on my TBR for August. It is now time for our fifth and final spin. There's no way I just pulled that after everything I just said. After everything I just said about going back to school, there is no way that I just pulled the longest book on my physical TBR, which used to be Alchemized. Read that last month. Distraught. Absolutely distraught. Let's start looking through these. Brimstone is 660 pages. The Dragon Republic is 660 pages. Oh, this has got a beat. This has got everything way beat. Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows is 759 pages. Genuinely, I don't think any of these books are going to be longer than that, but I'm going to check Binding 13. Binding 13 would have beat out both of these if I wasn't rereading the Harry Potter series. Binding 13 is 609 pages. So we are going to be reading Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows as our longest book on my physical TBR. This one, I am actually rereading the entire Harry Potter series, and this is the last book. This is the last one I have to read. I'm not rereading The Cursed Child, before anybody asks. So this is our book. This is our fifth and final book. Do a recap of what I'm going to be reading this month in August. First of all, our longest book, which is Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows. Continuing the Infernal Devices series, this is Clockwork Princess, which is the third book in this series. The Night and the Moth by Rachel Gillig. The book that's been on my TBR the longest, which is If We Were Villains by M.L. Rio. And finally, Dolly All the Time by Annabelle Monaghan. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you have read any of these books, or if you've read any of the books on my TBR that I did not pick, please let me know what your thoughts were and if you enjoyed them, and I will see you in another video. Bye!